Hello again. Some more powerful stuff to learn and to master. I've asked you to go ahead and practice the embedded commands and the ambiguous language and practice with friends, family members, anyone, just to be able to say them naturally and easily. We're going to build upon that, and I'm also going to share a few other elements to make it even more powerful. And then we're going to continue on with the next videos on questions you can ask that will lead their imagination to think about you as being the right or perfect agent to help them, and some more language patterns that will help the priming to guide their mind to making the right decisions to say, I want this person to help me. So first off, what I want to do in this, now that I showed you the structure, then how to practice, what you can do, I want to also at this point want to cover the mindset, because your mindset will help make it a natural conversation. So there's three things I want to cover in this portion right now. Plus, I'll also go into some additional ways of using this technique on the embedded commands and ambiguous language. The mindset. So there's three things I want to cover in the mindset. One is your outcome. Have your outcome in mind. So if you're working at an open house and you're working with buyers coming in, your outcome is, I want them to make an offer or to buy this house. That's your outcome. So you have that in your mind, so that way you're thinking about it unconsciously at a level to where you start to say that. Make an offer on this house. Or you can structure it, make yourself at home. And if you want to make an offer, so you kind of can repeat it in a way to where it starts to over and over, they're hearing it. And as I mentioned before, they're starting to create a filter in their mind of looking at the house in a way that is more serious for them to think about making an offer or buying the house. Or if it's the outcome is for them to select you, maybe you're working with a buyer or maybe a seller, and your outcome is to select me, choose me to help you. And when you do that, that's also going to be in the back of your mind, and you'll start to think about words and phrases that you can use that will be ambiguous or as an embedded commands. Select. You have a lot of homes to select. We're going to look at the neighborhoods that you talked about. Me now, so it's select me now. I will go do my work and find the homes that match your needs and desires. So your outcome, buy a house, sell a house also. You want to make sure that they're thinking about selling their house and not procrastinating, and selecting you as their agent to help them. So that's the outcome. The other is you want them to get a sense that you care. So your intentions have to be to really help them, to make sure they're the right fit for you or for the right fit for the house. So make sure that they care by paying attention to them, because if you're just using these techniques and just talking to them, they're going to sense it's just talk, and they're not going to feel the warmth and sincerity in the message. So make sure that you care by making eye contact, and we'll talk some more about how to create that sense of caring, and have that in your mind that your intentions is the first thing. Just your intentions to help them. If it's to help them make a decision if this house is correct for them or not, or find them another home, or your intentions is to have them select you because you would do the best job for them, select you to help them. So the third element, we talked about your outcome, your intentions. Now the third is expectations. Expect a yes. Expect them to say, yes, I want you to help me. Or yes, I want to place an offer on this home. Or yes, I want to sell my home and get the top price for it. So expect them to say yes, because when you have it in your mind that they're going to say yes, I'm going to connect with them. They're going to understand me. I'm going to use the language to keep them focused and primed to think about my outcome. And when you have that expectation, you continue to communicate to them, to talk to them, voice, eye language, eye contact, body language, become more confident with certainty. You're talking away as, I'm certain about this. I'm the right person to help you. Or now's a great time to buy. Or this is a home that you want to make an offer on. So when you're talking about that with certainty that you expect a yes, they will hear your message in a more profound, strong way of, okay, I agree. And then we talked about the nonverbal markers, like nodding yes during your suggestions. Now is a great time to buy this house, or make an offer. So another thing that I want to share, so those are the three, the mindset. We talked about outcome, intentions, and expectations. So as you're going through and making those embedded suggestions, maybe some ambiguous, like now, place an offer now, make an offer now. Let's talk about some of the features of the home. So where is now at? So that's ambiguous as well. Or buy now. Purchase now, or is it good buy now? Or saying buy, as in BY. And as you have your sentence structured, another marker, the markers I talked about would be making eye contact, or just lowering your voice slightly, pausing, nodding yes when you make that suggestion. Two others would be a gesture. So as you say buy now, make a gesture with your hand that's unique, only when you're going to say a suggestion. It creates a certain sense of alertness that their mind is consciously looking at your hand possibly, and it's unconsciously starting to listen to your message at a different level. So a gesture. Buy now, select me. And the third is, we talked about, and I'm going to share with you later on, ambiguous language that creates an ambiguous pattern interrupt. A pattern interrupt is where someone is maybe daydreaming and you have to get their attention. And you can ask them a question, or what I suggest you do in this case is use that as a way to have their unconscious mind pick up your message. Because a pattern interrupt can get them back into the moment. If they're daydreaming, you get them back into the moment. Maybe they're looking around or daydreaming about something. You can see that they are not making eye contact. And you want to create a pattern interrupt to break the train of thought and get them back into the moment. And it could be to ask them a question, ask them, can I have a glass of water? Or a tap, just a touch. So if they have their arm out, just tap their arm. Oh, by the way. And then they'll come back into making eye contact with you. And you can also use a pattern interrupt, because when it gets them into the now, a pattern interrupt like this or verbally can create a suspension. It's almost like a transit, like what happened? Confusion and curiosity, what's going on? And so their mind becomes open to hearing the message. They're not thinking about anything except what's going on. And they're not even completely hearing the message, but their subconscious mind is hearing the message. So you can say, oh, buy now, and tap their arm, buy now. And it's not grabbing them, not hitting them hard, just a little tap, oh, buy now. And so you continue it, conversation, or, oh, and select the home that you want. Now me, to help you. I want to be able to really understand your needs. So select now me to help you. And just tap at that moment where you're going to make that suggestion, that command, and it maintains that flow, that train of thought. So you have a variety of ways of marking off the command, and you can use it. The best is a combination. Use the ones that are natural for you. If it's lowering your voice, if it's pausing and then saying the command, or a tap, or a combination of those, just use them and practice them. As the more you practice, the more become natural. So the outcome, expectations of yes, and your intention, all blended together with this hypnotic language of making suggestions and priming them to a yes, or to the action, the outcome that you want. And using interrupts just to get them back into the moment, and also to have their unconscious mind alert and being curious of what's going on. And this also, you can use interrupts when you're door knocking or on the phone making phone calls. I'll talk more about that later on. I want to get this bit by bit and get this built upon how you can use this. So this is powerful information, and I want you to be able to really understand and use it. And so I want to hear your voice. I want to hear the way you're using it, and also write them out and practice them, as I mentioned before. Just write out the suggestions in bold. And in emails, you can do the same thing. You can underline, this is a great home to buy now. So you can underline, great home to buy now, or bold it. and it'll start to create that train of thought and focus as you're reading the emails. I want you to feel confident to select me, and bold that. And that, if you're wanting them to select you as to represent them, then that's where the mind starts to focus and think about. So you can use it in voice and in emails. And the more you practice, as I mentioned, the easier and natural it's going to be. And with friends, family members, maybe shopping, maybe the person behind the counter, Starbucks, wherever. And the thing is to keep it in your mind as a tool to make you more efficient. Because if you're just talking and just throwing out information, you're using up a lot of energy. And the client is trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? What should I pay attention to? So this is a tool and technique that will give you more precision with your language. So you can use fewer words and get a faster response, a faster yes, make you more efficient and have more fun connecting with people and having them take action. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to go into some more pattern interrupts, how to use them with your voice, your language, to create that suspension of, okay, what's going on? And listening at an unconscious, subconscious level. And a language pattern on what you can ask a question you can ask that will have them thinking about you and priming that mindset of, you are the ideal person to help me. It's a real simple question. It's structured in a way to where you can easily say it, naturally say it. It sounds natural, and it maintains that focus of looking at you and thinking about you being the ideal person to help them. As I mentioned, this is about being more precise with your language, just using certain phrases and language patterns that will help you connect with more people and get more yeses. And we'll continue to build on some additional language patterns. The quote pattern is the next one I'm going to teach you, how to use these in a quote and also with storytelling, where you can structure them in a way that makes it really fun and easy to use them where they're hearing you, not selling them, but they're hearing your message in a unique way, as in through a story or through a quote. So in the meantime, right now, the mindset and the interrupts, the practice, and as I mentioned, it's buyers and also sellers, because you want to also know, and we're going to cover this later on, what questions you want to ask a buyer to make sure you can keep them on track and they don't start to procrastinate. And they're looking at the homes with that focus. However, you want to avoid that opportunity or that situation to where the buyer says, well, I don't know, but now's the right time to buy. Or that seller that says, I don't know if I should sell right now. You need to ask specific NLP questions that will unlock their desires and needs so that you know how to have a conversation with them should that arise, or to avoid having that conversation with them. And then we're going to go into some other advanced language patterns that will blend in with what you just learned now and just continue it to be more hypnotic and getting more yeses and having some more fun with interacting with people. So we'll end off the session, practice, continue. I want to talk with you. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear that you're practicing. I want to make sure that you really understand this and are using it in a way that's really going to help you. And it's going to be an easy technique. It's just a matter of me coaching you in a way to make sure that I'm hearing what I need to hear and you're experiencing what you need to experience to take your business to the next level and have some more fun. So go out, have fun, communicate with people, get more yeses, practice this technique, and we will continue with some more advanced concepts and strategies that will help you be more precise, have more confidence in your conversations, and get more yeses. Thank you. To your success. Bye now.